Today we are talking about 6.3 notes, which are properties of parallelograms. So there's some important things to note with parallelograms. They are a four-sided figure, remember that. The opposite sides must be parallel to one another. The opposite sides are also congruent to one another. Opposite angles are also congruent to one another, meaning they are the same. The diagonals bisect each other, and consecutive angles are supplementary, which if you don't remember what that means, they add to 180 degrees. So those are your important properties. Let's use those properties to solve some problems. Okay, so if it asks to find the angle, and I'm just given one of them, that's all I need. Angles that are next to each other must sum to 180. So 162 plus what is 180? Remember, that's just subtraction. 180 minus 162 is 18 degrees, is the measure of angle 1. So if this is 18 degrees, the angle straight across from it is also 18 degrees. And then the angle across from 162 is also 162 degrees because opposite angles are congruent, meaning they are the same. Okay. So in this example, notice they are opposite angles. So they are congruent, which must mean they are equal to one another. Okay, so add x to get 2x plus 15 is 135. We want to subtract 15 to get 120 divided by 2. X must equal 60. If I wanted to figure out what those angles were, remember I would plug that back in. So be very careful on what the question is asking on whether you need to plug it in. 3 is set up the same way. This is congruent to this. I'm going to leave that one for you to do on your own, but remember you can always go and check it in class notebook. As far as the diagonals go, since it bisects, that means it cuts it in half, meaning if this is 11, this is also 11. If this is 6, this is also 6. Easy enough. Okay. And these, same idea, I'm just going to set them up for you. Actually, the first one we'll do together, but the others I'm going to set up to show you how to solve them, but leave them for you to do. All right, so remember perimeter is adding all the sides together. But before I can do that, I need to figure out what the length of the sides are. I know that these two are opposite each other, so they have to be equal. Okay. So I am subtracting, adding, and dividing. So if I am going too fast, you hit pause, you solve it on your own, and then you come back and meet me here and see if you are also able to get x equals 2. Once I figure out that x equals 2, I'm going to plug that in. So 5 times 2 minus 7 is 10 minus 7. 3 times 3 times 2. Let's see. is 6 minus 3 is 3. So, okay. Thought I did that wrong, but all is well. All right, so those are congruent. They should be. And then for this one, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. If that's 7, this also has to be 7. So what is 3 plus 3 plus 7 plus 7? Well, that's 10 plus 10, which is 20. So 20 units is the perimeter. All right, so again, I am not actually solving these. I'm just setting them up to help you out. You try them on your own as extra practice before moving on to the target. So I set them equal to one another. When I say them, remember this line is bisected in half. So this must be equal to that. I would solve that for x. Same for y. I would set them equal to one another and solve. Okay. And the last one, remember 2 angles that are side by side. So the big angle and the little angle added together must equal 180 degrees. So that would be the setup for that one. Whereas my sides must be equal. So I would set those equal to one another and solve. So parallelograms, pretty much everything that you think would be equal is equal. Everything that doesn't look equal, so small angle, big angle, adds to 180.